Follow all Moessieux news on his website, www.moessieux.com, on his Facebook and Instagram page too, for daily exclusive publications.
Hello and welcome on Moessieux. My name is Drawbars, and today we are going to continue the basic topic of the video on the CK. Here you have the CK61 with the synth action, and you have also a CK88 with piano action. The today's topic is about organs, but electronic transistor organs, sounds that we have inside the CK, and we are going to talk about this part here for 5 sounds, voices we have inside the CK. And for today we are going to talk only about the drawbars, because it would be too long to talk about all with the percussion and the vibrato, and we made one other video about this. But just before to start, remember you can shoot me on the Moessieux Facebook and Moessieux 13 Instagram. And you can also, if you are not a Moessieux follower, click on subscribe and click on the bell to be informed when I release a new video. So let's talk about these drawbar sections today. What it is about, and perhaps you think, we know what are the organ sounds, but not of you, I think, know what are really the drawbars, how it's work. So you can push it and make some sounds, okay, but from where it come? And it's very important to understand the sounds, to understand from where it come. So I will not remake all the things I done for the YC, because I made a full Yamaha organ history for the YC. I will be shorter for this video, do not worry about this. You need to understand that. One thing to start. Here I have made my organ sounds, and you see here, if I go a little bit deeper here on the video, you see that here it's light. It's light, that means I can use this section because it's light. If I come back to my overview, here, if I go to my other live set, where you see a full name, you see that it does not light. That means that here we are on the AWM2 synthesis, I would say in English, sorry. We have a nice pipe organ section. You understand what I mean for this? And this is AWM2, and this is not working with this. Only the AWM, that we call flute, work with this part for the organ. And what are the sounds that work with them? You have only one letter. The letter is for a famous Brown, so I think you will understand the H from where it comes. And the V from British organ, the F for Italian organ, the A for one of the British. And the Y, I can say this is Yamaha. This is an electronic Yamaha organ from 1972. This is the YC45. Normally, it was made here. And they are the same that we have on the Reface YC. The Reface was released in 2014. And you have the same idea in the same section, but with a large keyboard and all the sounds we have with the acoustic piano, electronic piano, and all the sounds we have inside the CK. So, you see the drawbars, you see some colors. On the YC, these two are red here. It's black and I would say not fully white, gray, I can say. Not fully white. Perhaps on the video you see white, but here on the reel I see more, a little bit gray. And what does it mean? We will see in detail just after. And just take a at the look, as you see the look of this. Very nice, good taking end, I would say. You have a near vintage look on the CK. I did not talk about this before, but you are near a vintage look here with this. I see some comments on the Facebook or forums that say, oh, it's near when we see from the rear. It's like an American car. I will not say the brand. And if you see here the buttons like the old transistor for the up buttons for the amplification for guitarists. I say so. I really like this vintage look that we have on the C key, and I see also some people asking, does this button that LED are very strong, solid? Remember, it's Yamaha, guys. Yes, they are strong, they are very great, and no problem with them. Except for me, for the cam, it's a little bit difficult because they light too much, but that's what it is. It's not for. It's not made for camera shoot. It's made for playing music, of course. So we talk about the colors, but there are also some numbers here. I will go in fully details after. What does it mean? Well, there is this one called 8. That's the size of the tube on I would say. So it's 8-inch. So near 2.5 meters. So, and you need to understand for the sound, because we come back to the pipe organs. You understand this? So it's a reference to pipe organs. And if you have big tube, pipe, it's large. If it's large, the sound is on the bass. It's lower. 1 is thin, like flute, like wood. So the sound is in treble. So you need to understand this. That's why these numbers are meaning 4. We have a comparison with the pipe organs. Okay. And with the pipe organs, we have some sounds and some names that we call, I will say in French because it's more French sounds. Bourdon, principal, quinte, octave that we have. And with all these drawbars, perhaps you see on the screen when I move something, you see it's moving the same way, and you see some numbers that appears here on the screen. And this is how it was made, from 0 to 8, and it's called registration. And if you take pipe organs as example, if I remember fine, if I do not make mistake, if you made a registration with the 8 and the 4, it's by comparison with the orchestra, it's in the flute family. You will not hear a real flute, of course, but it's in the flute. You have some registration with the drawbars. That means for the strings, for the orchestra, for the chords, etc., etc. And that's why we have this way to work, because the idea in 1913 here, we say 1936, if I remember fine, really for the big H, is to have an organ at home and not a pipe organ like we have on church. So they made this idea, but they take the pipe organ as reference. That's why you have this number. That's why you have this. And it's important to know, you can have 253 millions of combinations with these 9 drawbars from 0 to 8. And important things, for synth player, we play with the synth and say, here this is 0, and here you have the maximum level. For the electronic organs, this is really not the same things. Here, this is 0 on the top, because why? Because electronic players, organ, play like this and move the things like that. So here it's 0. I will push the last one, the 2 here. And here you have the volume. And here, no. The second thing you need to really understand about this. And I will take the 8, because the 8, I like the 8. I like the sound of the 8. Yeah, really. And if you hear the sound, it's a very simple sound. And I will say you can do the Morse like this. You remember this kind of sound? There is no harmonic here. It sings without sound. Like, this is not the same, but like in FM sounds. If you take a DX synth and you play a sine wave, you have something near that. That's why the DX is very great to make organs too. But this is not the topic of today. And how does it work? I will explain just after to you how does it work to have a bigger sound and from what it comes. Just before to continue, remember also you can ask me for a Moessieux masterclass for your Yamaha CK to discovering, taking and go deeper, but also on the YC and CP stage keyboard, Yamaha synths like Modix, Modix Plus and Montage, and also for John Mela software, and for audio modeling, Camelot Pro. You have all the information and video description, and see all the video with the video ending, and you will have all the information about this. So let's continue. If we take the reference to electronic organs, no, let's go away from the pipe organs. Here, these two here are called the sub-octave, because you have really the bass sound here. I will say here, the 4 here, you will have what we call the foundation. So this is the body for the real electronic organs. Do not blame me, please, because I try to explain in simply way, okay? So this is, I would say, the body of the sound in the middle, more in the medium. Okay? And for the third at the end, this is what we call, in French, the brilliance, the brightness, I will say in English, perhaps. I hope I do not make a mistake. So these third are really, really, really in the treble. I will do not play here because it's a little hurting for the ear. Here you see it's very treble, and even here. So take also this in account when you want to make the sound. So you can start with the body and you can add the subharmonics, and also if you want to have a little more treble, just move a little bit these two overs, depend what you want to do, of course. And to explain to you how we built the sound, I will take the 8, you know, I like it. This one. With the C4. Okay, I take the C4 and to explain to you what are the numbers now for the electronic organs. If I take the 16, if I want to have the same note in the 16, like it's lower, I need to go here on the C5. And I have the same note. So from 8 to 16, it's 1 octave differences. And you will start to understand things like that. And if I go to the 4, like it's more in treble, if I want to have the same note, I need to go lower, and it's also on a C, because I take a C on reference. If you take a G, it will be the G, of course. Huh? And I have the same note. If I take the 2, you understand. The same here, 1 octave lower, the 1 octave lower. So when you build a sound with only the full numbers, I will not push the 1 too much. So here we've layered the sounds with 1 octave of difference, lower or upper. Okay, so all are in the same way to work, but with 1 octave up or down. This is a kind of unison. And for the electronic analog sound, do not blame me too much too. I try to explain simply. It's like a layer of unison. And we will talk, I will make a video about the unison here. Also for the CK one we have on it. Here it's easy because all is 1 octave more upper or down. But as we start to work with the 5, 1 and 30, or 2, 2 and 30, or 1, 3 and 50, or 1, 1 and 30, difficult to say, we are not on the octave. So this is not the same sound. Here we are on, it's a lower, it's in lower position, but it's 5. So 5 is more in the treble than 8. You need to take this in account. Even if it's subharmonic, 5 is more in the treble. So like it's more treble, I need to go down from my G3. Remember my G3 with the 8? If I take this one, this is the F here. Okay? If I take this one, I need to go more here. This is the F. If I go for this one, the 1 and 30, this. And here we have this one, which is a little bit special. This one, the 1, 3, and 50. You see, this is not 1 and 30, 2 and 30, 1 and 30. This is 3 and 50. Here, we are here. If we take the D as reference, we are on the B flat, A flat, excuse me. We are on the A flat. So, now you understand that when you add these other drawbars, we are not on the same octave. So we have some, the sound can be a little bit hurting, I would say, for the ear if you go too much. Say, this is not great. Perhaps you want to have this kind of sound. You can also for some kind of music. But take this in account when you want to build your sound. Here, it's like, if I talk about FM, it's like if we bring energy on the sound, but you need to have the good adjustment. And that's great to have this. Of course, you can do what you want for the Drawbars settings. And if you go on the web, you will see a lot of registration for the Drawbars about rock music. You search on the web, rock Drawbars, gospel Drawbars, jazz Drawbars, why not? And you will find some registration with the number and say, okay, for this one I need to have the 6. Okay, for this one I see I need to have the 4. And you start to play and say, oh, okay, yes, it's very jazz or very gospel. So you can find a lot of them on the web to have a base to start. If you do not know, if you do not have the knowledge about this, it can really, really help you to have this for starting point. For me, generally, I can have separate track because we work with backing tracks, so I buy them, and we have some separate tracks, so I always take the organ track separate, and I hear how it was made, and I search what is the organ, is it the H? I will take a little bit of drawbars. Not too much. The sound is very different for the V. You know. The F, and the A. So very, very different. And the Y. So I change the bass of the sound, and when I have the bass, most of the time I work with the H. And simply I start with the 8. That's why I like the 8 and the 4 a little bit. And I add the subharmonics and I add the overs and say, okay, I play the chord and say, okay, I am near the result I want to achieve. So it's one of the ways to work to have the good song. If you made some covers, if you made some composition, you do what you want, of course. Okay, that's the bonus time. Okay, so for the bonus, I keep the idea about the organs when I made this video, and I say, this is a great example to show you the split points. I can make a video about the split, but it can be very short video, so I do not see the interest to do this. And I prefer to make with the organ. Why? Because on electronic organs, we have some nice electronic organs in the 70s with the upper keyboard and the lower keyboard. The upper is for to play melodic chords and the lower to play the bass part, I will say, ID. And can we do this with only one CK? Yes, of course, with the split. So that's the good idea to explain the split for you here. But you need to take some things in account, very important, especially for the drawbars. We have also an option to play on a second keyboard. I will make a video later. There are a lot of other videos you've done before, but I will do. And if I want to play only on my CK 61 or 88, and I want to have the upper, of course, on the right and the lower on the left hand, can I do? Yes, with the split. And for the split, let's go closely, more closely, I will say, let's go closely. Here, we have the split here to choose the type, and the split point to select the split point, okay? So this is the 2 buttons I want to show you in large view. For the split, very easy. You have some type of split. I just press one time, and I have one I selected. And you can have the 3 on layers. As you want, you can have the A and B plus C. You can have the A plus B and the C on the split point you want. And on the third, you can have A, B, and C. Okay? So very easy to understand. But as you see, all the time, and it's very, very, very important for the organs, all the time, the A part is on the left. So do not start to work on the A to say, I want to make the body of my sound to play my chords and my melodic and my solo. Well, this is the great sound I want to do split. And here you will see, oh no, this is for the lower. It's mandatory, I would say. It's always A on the lower when you split. So if you want to start this, prepare the second part, perhaps and activate the one and say, okay, here I prepare the body of my sound. Okay, I have the body of my sound. Here I cut most of the effect, not for this one, because this is the body for the A, for the explanation. And here I have my setting already made. Of course, when I activate the A, you see the little point change here. I will say on the H. And I will go to part 2 like this. And you see you have the split on the left on the part A. And if I select the B here, unselect the B to show you, you have the B is here on the second part. And I have already made this, of course. And I select my split point, just place on split point here. And if you have choose A plus B plus C, you have the 2. So select the 1, select the second. If on split point you are like this, just press split, and here you want the G2, you have the G2. You want the B2, you select the B2 directly on the keyboard. Very easy. Do not forget to press exit. If you will not play, you continue to select the split point if you do not know. And now you can work like this and select, okay, I unselect the A, the B, I made my body sound. And for the A, I unselect this one. And you can adjust the volume. Here, I will use my finger better for the screen. So generally for the lower, you need to increase a little bit, perhaps reduce a little bit. I need to engage, of course. You see, I need to engage because if I do not engage, I work always on the A. I need to have the 2. Yeah, too much. No, I think here it's not so bad. Okay, so I have my split with my lower and my upper. And if I want to work in live and change my lower and upper, very easy. So I go here and I move on the lower. So I can move the subharmonic to have more subs. And I want to play here in the ID, I say for the colors, you see clearly this is the part A, this is the lower, I work on the lower, this is the part B, I work on the upper. Very easy also with the colors to see the things you done, because you need to think to play, you need to think to smile a little bit for the public. And very easy to have the color code also in the ID, so very good. Also things to research. See my video about the colors. Very important to have this and take this in count. So that's all for the body. I think I have finished. Just you need to store, of course, but I show on my first video, so just press store and store it. I will do not done, but I can. If I need, but not for this one. This is video ending. I hope you have liked it. I hope you are finding it interesting. If yes, please click on the blue thumb. This is very important for me because remember, I am alone to make all on Moessieux. And I like to have some likes, like everybody. And it's important also for the suggestion video to promote the channel to some other people. And if you find it very, very interesting and say, oh, I learned something, or I do not need to ask a masterclass to Moessieux because you really explain well. And if you want to thank me, you can make a super thanks. A super thanks is like a kind of donation. You can start from $2 to what you want. And you can thank me like that, and you can help me to renew the licenses of the software or buy some new gear, like some cams sometimes. So thank you in advance. If you want a Moessieux masterclass, you have all information on video description and on videoending.com. See you soon for one other Moessieux video.
Would you like to discover, learn, or improve your knowledge of your Yamaha synthesizer or stage keyboard? Book your Moessieux masterclass now. Your private session is conducted online through Zoom. Take all benefit of Moessieux expertise, Yamaha synthesizers and stage keyboard specialist for nearly 20 years, and consultant for Yamaha Music Europe and France. As member of International Yamaha Tech Talk live team, and host of the Camelot Pro sessions for audio modeling, Joel take care of your experience level. Whether you're a beginner or a skilled user, get the most out of your Yamaha synthesizer, stage keyboard, John Maylis software suite, or Camelot Pro.
Book your session from the Moessieux Facebook page. Use slots available in the service tab, or by email, moessieux@orange.fr. This service is available in French and English, only for users who live in European Union. Camelot Pro 1-to-1 Masterclass are available for users all over the world through audio modeling platform. Thank you for watching this Moessieux video. Do not forget to click on like, subscribe, and click on the bell to be informed when a new video is online. Do not hesitate to write a comment or ask a question. See you soon. Bye.